Dear the Perceived followers, today we are in Amsterdam with Bas Wisselink from the NXT Foundation. We will be talking about the blockchain, Bitcoin 2.0, the next generation of Bitcoin. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell us about the NXT.
NXT or NXT is a so-called second generation blockchain. So what we do, Bitcoin can do one thing really well, which is exchange value. Within NXT, we add a lot of functionality. So instead of just doing this on our blockchain, you can also send messages, store data. You can create and trade assets and many other things. It's also a proof of stake coin, so it doesn't suffer from the same energy consumption as Bitcoin. And we're still building it out. It's very actively being developed.
Can you tell us more about the power of stake? Actually, it is a different methodology than the Bitcoin is using.
The main difference between proof of stake and proof of work is the following. Proof of work can be characterized as a contest. So the strongest computer is the fastest at solving the cryptographical puzzle. So the stronger computer you have, the more Bitcoin you will mine. This leads to a huge hardware race, so you get a lot of power consumption where we are right now, and which is growing and growing. For proof of stake, it's not so much a competition, it's much more a lottery in which every coin in the system can be seen as a ticket to the lottery. So the more you have, the more chance you have to generate a new block. It also means that you don't need to spend hardware and power on that contest, so it's a very energy efficient system.
So it is easier to use?
Not so much easier, but it is much cheaper to use. Cheaper, yeah.
Tell me about the philosophy of the blockchains and NXT, please.
Philosophy, could you explain a bit more about how you mean this question?
The blockchains are decentralized.
Yes.
What is it different from a centralized system, and how can we trust them?
Okay, the interesting part is you trust a blockchain because there's no one to trust on the blockchain. So this is also one of the hardest things to explain to somebody who's used to a central system, is that you don't want people to work together as if when they run nodes, because if they start working together, then they can take over the network and do the so-called 51% attack. So a blockchain philosophy is that you have people who have no trust whatsoever, who don't know each other and have no reason to work together, who are still creating something together. So this is the main reason to trust it. In a centralized system, you also get the extra problem that there is one thing to attack. So if you take that down, the whole system is compromised. In a blockchain, if you attack me, if I run a node, and all the other ones are still operational, the system works as it should. So it's very much a system in which chaos is actually a constructive thing.
So you trust the system instead of the people you're landing or you're in contact.
Yes, exactly. You don't know anyone on the system, ideally, and you can trust the system because the rules are very transparent. Anyone you don't need a math degree to understand the rules of the Bitcoin network. You can see how a transaction is made. You can see that by proof of work, or in next case, proof of stake, it is impossible to game this system, and those are rules you can trust. So the trust is in the rules and not in the people.
I heard a statement that Bitcoin or the blockchains are an experiment. Is it?
Yes, well, you hear this a lot. It is true that both Bitcoin and any cryptocurrency or blockchain project that you'll see out there is beta software. You see this in the numbering of Bitcoin software, which is 0.12 or 0.11. It is not a finished product, and it will hopefully never be. The thing is, it's not really an experiment in as much that it isn't centrally organized. And an experiment is also, scientifically, an experiment is something you could repeat. Bitcoin cannot be repeated because we now know it, so an experiment would be tainted. But it is an exploration. So we're in completely new territory here. We have a system where I can pay you without anyone in between. A system where I can take my whole bank account basically in Bitcoin, and I can put it in my pocket, and I can cash it out in any country that has a Bitcoin outlet. This is completely new, and it creates a new dynamic between people. We've never seen this before, so we have no idea what is exactly going to happen, and that makes it an exploration. It's uncharted territory.